Thanks for joining us for this Election Day 2022 update. I'm Leah Lynch-Hyde.
And I'm Chris Stanford. Today's the day. The midterms are here, and we have team coverage to make sure that your voice is heard on Election 2022.
Josh Spreiter talking traffic at the polls, and Shane is breaking down how to find your polling location. But we want to check in first with your first warn weather and whether it's going to impact your drive to vote. Chris Reese here with your first warn weather, your certified most accurate. Hey, Chris.
Temperatures have now made it into the 40s as you were headed out there. We're going to continue to warm things up. We're seeing a strong southeasterly wind at this point. 46 in Janesville right now, 48 in Lone Rock. Madison coming in at 44. But this is what I want to show you. It's the rest of your election day. We're going to continue to warm things up into the low 50s. You will see cloud cover on the increase, though. By the end of the day, it's the time those polls are beginning to close. You'll notice a lot of those temperatures back down into the middle 40s. If you're standing outdoors in a line, a jacket or a hoodie might come in handy. Otherwise, we stay dry, not too shabby.
All right. Thank you, Chris Reese. Polls have been open now for about 2.5 hours across the state, and even the candidates are out casting their vote already.
Josh Spreiter is following along with who's casting theirs in Madison. Let's check in with them. Hey, Josh.
Hey guys, good morning. Yeah, we're live back at the Madison Municipal Building right now, but just about a half hour ago, we did catch up with Josh Kaul, of course, Attorney General, casting his ballot over at Wingara School. Governor Evers will be doing his in about 90 minutes up in Maple Bluff. It has been a busy start to the polls today. This is some new video right now that we shot when polls opened at 7 o'clock this morning. And it's much busier than we typically see when polls open. And it's been steady so far. As far as voter turnout, this will be something that we are certainly watching throughout the day. Again, polls have been open since 7 this morning across the state of Wisconsin. There is still plenty of time to get out to your polling place and cast your vote. It is important to note if you are in line by 8 o'clock, you can still vote. So if you're running late this evening from work or school, do not worry. Elections officials say that if you stay in line, you will get your turn. So with the polls being open for 13 hours today, I did ask the City of Madison clerk for recommendations on avoiding the busy times. I'm told the after work crowd is typically the busiest, so try to avoid that 4 to 7 o'clock time frame if you want to limit your wait time or those crowded polling places. The lunch hour is a close second to that. Elections officials tell me the best time to vote is early on in the day. Back out here live at the Madison Municipal Building again, we have seen a busy start out here at the polling place, so this will be interesting to see as we go throughout the day, guys. Coming up on News 3 Now at noon, we'll have video of the governor and also Tim Michels casting his ballot. We know Ron Johnson and Mandela Barnes also will be voting out of our viewing area. So a lot going on here, and we'll be covering it all live right here on News 3 Now and channel3000.com.
All right, Josh Spreiter live downtown. Thanks, Josh.
We also want to make sure you know where your polling place is today.
We have all the resources you need to get there. Our Shane Hogan is breaking down our voter information guide this morning. Hi, Shane.
Hey, Chris. Everything you need to know is right here on channel3000.com. We're going to start with how to find where you need to go today. So you're going to hit the tab on how to find your polling election place. And if you scroll down here, you'll find this really clever link that goes right to the myvote.wi.gov website here. All you need to do is plug in your address, and it will show you exactly where you need to head to cast your vote today. And if you live in the city of Madison, you can also use their website, again, by just entering your address, and your polling place will come up. Now, this is important to do before you even step out the door, because your polling place might have changed since the last time you voted, even as recently as the last 2020 presidential election. So you don't want to show up today and have to be told to go somewhere else. Again, really important to know this information before you head to the polls today.
Shane, this resource is so neat. I spent some time on channel3000.com/elections. Just one of many tools we have available for folks on this election day. What else can you find on our website?
Yeah, it is really easy, and it's really user-friendly as well. You can also find what's on your ballot. So I'm going to go to another page here. Here's the voter information guide. If you scroll down a little bit past this map, you can see right here what's on your ballot. You can go through statewide races like governor and attorney general. You can also find congressional races for your district like Mark Pocan versus Eric Olson if you live here in the 2nd district. And under the same tab, you can also find referendum questions from your municipality, such as public schools and other county questions. All really important information for you on this election day.
Yeah, one-stop shopping for all the resources you need. Shane Hogan, thanks for breaking it down for us. We appreciate it.
We also want to make sure that you know what to bring to the polls on this election day.
Yeah, here in Wisconsin, you do need to bring some type of voter ID with you to be able to cast your ballot. Here's a list of some of the more common ones. Of course, a Wisconsin driver's license, a U.S. passport, and for your college student, a campus-issued ID card. That needs to have an issue date and a student signature. All of these options, by the way, need to have an expiration date within the last 2 years or later.
When it comes to registering to vote, you can still do that today in person. You do need to bring some documents, though, with you to prove your residency. All those above options count as your proof of residency. So does a utility bill, a credit card bill, or bank stub.
And you might not know this, but you have the right to leave work to go vote. Per state law, your employer is required to give you up to 3 hours to vote every election day. Doesn't matter the size or type of the company. For your part, you do have to notify your boss before Election Day if you plan to leave to vote. Your boss doesn't necessarily have to pay you for that missed time, but they can't penalize you in any other way. Again, you can find all of this information plus so much more analysis and expectations, everything you need to know over on our voter information guide. That's channel3000.com/elections.
All right, let's talk about the candidates themselves now. We're expecting both candidates for governor to cast their votes publicly this morning. This after their last day on the campaign trail. Governor Evers was in Milwaukee for a canvas launch event. There, he criticized his Republican opponent, Tim Michels, for being a climate change denier and a Trump supporter.
He is somebody, especially around the issues of abortion, especially about our public schools, where he has indicated he would reduce funding by 40% to our public schools. We may as well lock the doors on those schools.
Meanwhile, Tim Michels was campaigning in De Pere. There, he discussed a variety of subjects, including inflation, crime, and education, saying that people are looking for change.
Frustrated about inflation being up. They're frustrated about crime being up. They're frustrated about education test scores being down. And they're frustrated about their 401k values being down. I'm going to provide bold leadership that's going to make life better for future generations to come here in Wisconsin.
In the last Marquette Law School poll among likely voters, Governor Tony Evers and Republican challenger Tim Michels both tied at 48% apiece. The governor had a 1-point lead a month ago. Outside of the governor's race, we are also looking at the possibility for a GOP supermajority in the Wisconsin legislature.
This is some really interesting analysis. If Republicans win enough races, they could boost their current majority there to be able to override a governor's veto. That threshold is 2/3 or 66 assembly seats. Republicans currently hold 60. So 6 is the difference here. If it happens, though, it could mean big changes to Wisconsin law.
I think we would see vast changes to election law and any number of things in the state. I think it could really rewrite the state's history.
It's a hard bar to meet, however. The experts we talked to say Republicans would have to win a number of purple districts, plus at least one Democratic district to achieve that supermajority. And if any of these races are close, what are the chances for a recount? Well, here's how the process works in Wisconsin. Our state doesn't have automatic recounts, even if the unofficial results are close. Instead, if the vote totals are separated by 1% or less, the candidate trailing the leading candidate has the right to petition for a recount. If the vote totals are separated by 0.25% or less, the petitioning candidate doesn't have to pay for that recount.
A lot of times during the recount, we're explaining all the checks and balances that go through an election day and the checks and balances we do at the polls and at our recounts. And it's not just counting the ballots again, it's looking at all of the paperwork and reviewing all the inspector statements and all the rigorous pieces that we have in our system to make it work. So I think it's a good thing to go through and just show all the diligence in our jobs that we do.
That right there is Rock County Clerk Lisa Tollefson. She says if a recount does take place, she expects the process to be comparable to Rock County's 2016 presidential election recount. That took about 10 days of work.
Let's take a break from the campaign coverage now and check in with Chris Reese in that first warn forecast.
Yeah, you have a big swing in the forecast later this week, Chris, right?
3 things to know as we start to move forward. One of those is going to be towards 70 degrees as we begin to look forward towards the week, and then it is the temperature crash. Those temperatures are going to be coming way down by the end of the week. Right now, we're finding most of those into the 40s. 48 in Lone Rock right now, Mineral Point and Platteville both at 46. Same for Janesville. It's 40 in Wisconsin Dells. You focus in on the Madison Metro. We've got a lot of low 40s out there. 43, a popular number right now. 47 in Middleton. Sauk City's at 45, and it is 44 at the Dane County Regional Airport, but it's breezy. Winds are out of the south and east at 18 miles per hour. So as a result, your wind chill feels like we are in the mid-30s out there. Doppler track is quiet. It will stay quiet today, but you already see some of the showers being born right along that I-29 corridor. That's the moisture streaming northward as this next system across the high plains really, and I mean really, begins to send a number to the upper Midwest. We're going to be talking about a blizzard and severe weather across the northern plains of the upper Midwest as we go through the coming days. We stay on the warm side where we're really just looking at chances for some showers, and those showers begin to develop late tonight into early tomorrow, mainly to our north and west. Still, I can't rule out the chance to at least see a shower around here. Here we go now. It's Thursday into the afternoon and evening. We start to see that cold front approaching, and that brings with it the line of showers as the blizzard rages across northern Minnesota and parts of the Dakotas. We get cold enough on the backside of that some of the lingering raindrops could be flurries as we move towards Friday morning, and I cannot rule out some lingering flurries into parts of your Saturday. Check this out. 65 tomorrow, 70 on Thursday, but 35 on Friday. We will struggle to get above freezing for the weekend.
Okay, Chris Reese with that first warn weather. We appreciate it. Thank you. All right, let's check back in one last time with Josh Sprider live downtown watching the poll lines. Hey there, Josh.
Hey, Leah. Yeah, right here at Madison Municipal Building where we've been all morning long. A busy start so far out here as voters have been coming to cast their ballot. We did ask the city clerk to, give us some times as far as what is the best time to come out and cast your ballot. Early is better. If you're going to try to avoid some of those wait times, try to avoid the after work and after school rush hour between about 4 and 7 o'clock tonight. The lunch hour is also going to be quite busy. So the earlier you can get here, the better throughout the day. Again, polls are open all the way until 8 o'clock tonight. So as long as you are in line by 8 o'clock, you will be able to cast your ballot. So even if it's 8 o'clock and you're in line, stay in line because you will have your turn yet later on today. So a busy start down here. We'll be monitoring this throughout the day and seeing how that voter turnout is looking, as we have noticed quite a few voters out and about already compared to a typical election day when we are stationed here. So coming up on News 3 Now at noon, we will be live with some of the candidates who have already cast their ballots. Again, Governor Evers casting his ballot up in Maple Bluff around 11 o'clock this morning, so we'll have highlights from him and some of the other candidates casting their ballot around the state of Wisconsin coming up later on today, guys.
All right, sounds good. Josh Sprider live downtown for us. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you very much, Josh. And thanks for joining us, folks. Keep it here right here on News 3 Now and over on channel3000.com all day. We're going to continue to bring you wall-to-wall coverage with real-time updates from the polls and any breaking results as soon as they come out.
Have a great election day, everyone.
News 3 Now is always on.
Get the Channel 3000 app, activate the push alert, and we will send you breaking news, traffic, and weather alerts as it happens.
The Channel 3000 app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now.